I just want to talk about why this is wrong. This tweet has already been debated a lot, but maybe if you're not that much into VTubers, you saw all the debate, but you didn't really understand why people cared that much, or why there were a lot of people on both sides of the argument. I want to dissect this tweet and try to explain why I think this isn't really correct. I will be talking about all of the points in this, basically: idol culture, showing your face, being open about having a partner, and parasocialness. First of all, a lot of people like to say idol culture about anything they dislike. They have this notion that idol culture is bad, and anything they don't like is bad, and anything they don't like is idol culture. There are a lot of difficulties that come with being in idol training, first of all. And I understand why people in the West, including me, might think that it's all hardships. But actually, the part of idol culture that I think VTubers take is the fact that people see someone they want to support who's not at their full potential yet, and they want to support that person until they can reach that potential. And that is nothing bad, actually. That is something that you naturally want to do. You see someone debuting, they're not that good at singing, maybe they're not that good at playing games, and they want to be better, so you watch their journey. It's actually the reason why a lot of older people tend to gravitate towards idols, because those old people, or middle-aged older people, probably have a lot of goals that they weren't able to accomplish, and they're living through these idols who they can watch making their goals become true. So why would idol culture, in this sense, be a bad thing? Supporting someone is a bad thing? I don't think so. And there is a lot of the purity culture that people include when they say idol culture, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. Like shedding the idol culture of VTubers and just making VTubers like any other streamer. I mean, you can be that way. No one is preventing you from being that way. You can just be a normal streamer who has a VTuber avatar. A lot of people do, and nothing happens to them. It's not forbidden. But a lot of people also want to be like idols. There are a lot of VTubers who admire idols and want to be like them, and they want supporters like them, and that's not a bad thing. That part is not bad. Basically, I think generalizing idol culture like this and treating it as a bad thing is very reductive and quite honestly rude to people who actually know their stuff about it. Secondly, showing your face. This is the most ridiculous thing, actually. If you want to show your face, go ahead, but think twice before encouraging it so much to people, because you don't realize how bad it is for your opsec. We're living in times where people can just, you share a selfie on Twitter, people can look at the background, see a tree in the background, and they can understand where you are from that tree. And I'm not trying to exaggerate, this is not hyperbole, it's just they can look at a tree, they can find out that that tree only grows in certain regions, depending on other information you have shared online, because you share a lot of information online, you share all of your life online. They can exclude some possible regions, and they can have a pretty good idea of where you live or where you are at that moment. People can find your house, people can find a lot of personal details about you. You share a picture of a key, you share a picture of the key to your house and be like, I finally bought my own house. People can copy your key. You have to realize how dangerous it is, and if you accept all of those dangers because you really want to share, then okay, but just think twice before telling people that this is good and they should be doing this. Being a VTuber is really good for your privacy. You still have to be careful You're still using your voice unless you use a speech-to-text-to-speech technology. And even then, there are specific words that you choose to use and people in your real life can recognize you from. There is always a danger, but I mean, sharing selfies, sharing your real face it's not safe. Again, if you accept that, of course you're free to do what you want. But it's not necessarily a healthy thing. It's not necessarily a good thing. Being open about having a partner, I feel like a lot of the times it's just not relevant to the content. And again, if you want to be open, you can, and there are people who are. Then there are people who, well, there are a few different categories. There are a lot of VTubers who heavily advertise themselves as being single. You know, girl failures. I can't do anything. I can't talk to guys in real life. I will never get a boyfriend. And while it sounds like they're venting, it does also feel like there's a certain degree of, I'm pure. I'm never going to have a boyfriend. It does kind of appeal to certain kind of people, but I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying they intend for it that way because it's okay to vent. Then there are some VTubers who just don't mention it at all. They don't mention anything about their real low life. And they could have a boyfriend, they could have a girlfriend, they could be married, and it doesn't really matter. The point is, people don't come to your streams to listen to you talk about that. People come to your streams to see an anime boy or girl watch video games, play video games. Sorry. So if you keep talking about your real life, your real partner, it really breaks the immersion. And I mean, this person is saying it's good to break the immersion, but why be a VTuber at all at that point? If you think all of these things should go, why be a VTuber? It kind of is like this picture, sort of. I mean, if you want to be open that you have a partner, it's not going to make people hate you. You can still have an audience. There are a few well-known VTubers, popular VTubers who do. And it's not a bad thing. But your real life shouldn't really, like, being out of character shouldn't be the main focus of your streams. And I think that's what a lot of people just don't want to see. They don't want to see it in your persona. They don't actually care if you have a real life out of your channel. They don't care if you have a partner. You could have children, you could be married. They don't really care about that unless you tell them. Parasocialness is kind of too complicated for me to talk about right now. Well, you should keep the parasocialness in check. And a lot of VTubers do, actually, even, Japanese VTubers that people like this don't really like. They do keep the parasocialness in check. There are a few VTubers who really appeal to it, telling their viewers that they love them, that they want to get married with them, that they want to be with them forever. But this is not common practice, I don't think. And I don't like that either because it's taking advantage of, you know, people who are able to be manipulated easily. People who will actually believe this and pay a lot of money to the streamer because of it. That's just manipulating people and it's not good. There are cases, of course, where the streamer is also parasocial. Depending on the streamer, there are some people who are also in a mentally bad place themselves and they really depend on their viewers, and that's not good for either party either. I do agree with that, but I mean, keeping the parasocialness in check doesn't require all of these other things. You don't need to be open about having a partner just to keep the parasocialness in check. You just need to be firm with your viewers. And you don't even need to be harsh. You can just warn them when one of them does say something weird. And like I said, even a lot of JP VTubers do this. And it doesn't require you to break the immersion or anything, because the anime girl probably also doesn't want their viewers to flirt with them. So that is good, but all of the other points are a little weak, either a little bit misunderstood, or just not really healthy as they're claiming it to be. I've censored the person's name because, like I said, this tweet has already made rounds and I think it's actually been deleted. I screenshotted it before. So I'm not going to direct you to the person, and you don't need that because these are points that a lot of people in the Western VTubing world agree on. A lot of people think this way, and they have their reasons for doing so, but I hope my explanation made sense if you weren't really sure why this would even be a debate. I just wanted to talk about that really quickly. So I think I talked about every point in here, and I can end the video now. So thank you for watching this video. If you would like to see more of me, feel free to subscribe. If you liked this video, then feel free to show me that by liking the video. If you have anything to say, definitely comment, because it's not like I'm an expert, like especially on idol culture and even the other points. I'm not an expert. I would love to discuss further if you have any comments.